The General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon is an American single-engine supersonic multirole fighter aircraft originally developed by General Dynamics for the United States Air Force, USAF. Designed as an air superiority day fighter, it evolved into a successful all-weather multirole aircraft with over 4,600 built since 1976. Although no longer purchased by the U.S. Air Force, improved versions are being built for export. In 1993, General Dynamics sold its aircraft manufacturing business to the Lockheed Corporation, which became part of Lockheed Martin after a 1995 merger with Martin Marietta. The Fighting Falcon's key features include a frameless bubble canopy for enhanced cockpit visibility, a side-mounted control stick to ease control while maneuvering, an ejection seat reclined 30 degrees from vertical to reduce the effect of G-forces on the pilot, and the first use of a relaxed static stability flight control system that helps to make it an agile aircraft. The F-16 has an internal M61 Vulcan cannon and 11 hardpoints. In addition to active duty in the U.S. Air Force Reserve Command, and Air National Guard units, the aircraft is also used by the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds Aerial Demonstration Team, the U.S. Air Combat Command F-16 Viper Demonstration Team, and as an aggressor aircraft by the United States Navy. The F-16 has also been procured by the air forces of 25 other nations. As of 2023, it is the world's most common fixed-wing aircraft in military service, with 2,145 F-16s operational. Five companies responded, and in 1972, the Air Staff selected General Dynamics Model 401 and Northrop's P600 for the follow-on prototype development and testing phase. GD and Northrop were awarded contracts worth $37.9 million and $39.8 million to produce the YF-16 and YF-17, respectively, with the first flights of both prototypes planned for early 1974. To overcome resistance in the Air Force hierarchy, the fighter mafia and other LWF proponents, which, successfully The YF-16 was developed by a team of General Dynamics engineers led by Robert H. Widmer. The first YF-16 was rolled out on the 13th of December 1973. Its 90-minute maiden flight was made at the Air Force Flight Test Center at Edwards AFB, California, on the 2nd of February 1974. Its actual first flight occurred accidentally during a high-speed taxi test on the 20th of January 1974. While gathering speed, a roll control oscillation caused a fin of the port side wingtip-mounted missile and then the starboard stabilator to scrape the ground, and the aircraft then began to veer off the runway. The test pilot, Phil Estrecher, decided to lift off to avoid a potential crash, safely landing 6 minutes. U.S. Vietnam War experience showed the need for air superiority fighters and better air-to-air training for fighter pilots. Based on his experience in the Korean War and as a fighter tactics instructor in the early 1960s, Colonel John Boyd with mathematician Thomas Christie developed the energy maneuverability theory to model a fighter aircraft's performance in combat. Boyd's work called for a small, lightweight aircraft that could maneuver with the minimum possible energy loss and which also incorporated an increased thrust-to-weight ratio. In the late 1960s, Boyd gathered a group of like-minded innovators who became known as the Fighter Mafia, and in 1969, They secured Department of Defense funding for General Dynamics and Northrop to study design concepts based on the theory. Air Force FX proponents were opposed to the concept because they perceived it as a threat to the F-15 program. But the USAF's leadership understood that its budget would not allow it to purchase enough F-15 aircraft to satisfy all of its missions. The Advanced Day Fighter concept, renamed FXX, gained civilian political support under the reform-minded Deputy Secretary of Defense David Packard, who favored the idea of competitive prototyping. As a result, in May 1971, the Air Force Prototype Study Group was established, with Boyd a key member, and 2 of its 6 proposals would be funded, one being the Lightweight Fighter, LWF. The request for proposals issued on 6 January 1972 called for a 20,000-pound, 9,100 kilogram, Class Air-to-Air Day fighter with a good turn rate, acceleration, and range, and optimized for combat at speeds of Mach 0.6 to 1.6 and altitudes of 30,000 to 40,000 feet, 9,100 - 12,000 meters. This was the region where USAF studies predicted most future air combat would occur. The anticipated average flyaway cost of a production version was $3 million. This production plan was hypothetical as the USAF had no firm plans to procure the winner.